Event Grid system topics and Event Grid system topic subscriptions. These are going to be services that are used by Azure that help to publish events and messages to those that need them, users or applications. These two resources work very well together, which is why I've included both of them in the same video. So we have the Event Grid system topics first. Here's my definition for it: provide a predefined way, predefined managed way, I mistyped that, for Azure services such as storage accounts or event hubs to publish events that can be routed to various subscribers. So this is about sending information to a subscriber. And this leads us to the second resource, the Event Grid system topic subscriptions. These are created within the Event Grid system topics. And this is to allow a user or an application to receive and then probably react to those events that are published from that Azure service. So here's an example of these two resources working together, and these resources will make more sense as you see examples in which they are used. So first I'm going to explain this, and then I'm going to show it on the Azure portal. But we have a storage account, and various things can happen to the storage account. Files can be added to it, files can be modified, files can be deleted. And whenever these things happen, the Event Grid system topic wants to keep an eye on it, and it wants to know what is going on with the storage account. So the Event Grid system topic will gather information on what's happening with this resource. And then it's going to send that information to the Event Grid system topic subscription. And then the Event Grid system topic subscription is going to send those messages to the subscribers that it has. And for this case, it's going to be a service bus queue. When you create an Event Grid system topic, you are going to specify what the endpoint is going to be, i.e. who you are going to send the message and the information and the events to. So here's my Azure subscription. And I have previously created these two resources. You can see my storage account right here, and you can also see my service bus namespace. Now, it's important to note that within this service bus namespace, I have this resource right here. I have customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3, which are just queues that represent information that will want to be routed to different people. So let's go to the Event Grid system topic, and let's make one. So I'm going to create one right here. So first I have to specify about what the kind of resource is that we are going to connect to. So there's event hubs that it can connect to, and it can connect to a long list of things right here. So I'm going to specify a storage account. It's going to be this subscription. It's going to be the storage account that I made earlier right here. And let's just call it test system topic. Misspelled it. Specify the location that it's made in, and then I can enable system assigned managed identities. In one of my previous videos, I talked about system assigned managed identities, so I can enable that here if I want to. I can add tags, and then I can review and create it. So let's create it. I've successfully created my system topic. And now let's go into it. And it's going to be giving information here about the data that it's going to be gathering. So I just created it, so it has no information. I can go over here and I can filter the kind of information that it's collected for a while, all the information that's collected in the past day. But now I need this information to be sent somewhere. So I have up here the Event Grid subscription. So it says down here that I have no Event Grid subscriptions, and I can make multiple Event Grid subscriptions if I want to, maybe filtered on different things that are happening on my storage account. So let's go over here to the Event Grid subscription, and Let's call it something. And the type of schema that I want. And then you can see that I already locked it to the storage accounts that I made earlier. It's going to be inside of this system topic. And then I specify what kind of information I want to be sent out, because the system topic is going to be gathering the information, and then the subscription is going to look at that information and determine what kind of information do we want to send out. So we have blob created or blob deleted, for example. So within the storage account, we can add files, we can delete files. So those are the two things that it's covering there. But there are lots of other things that I could cover here, such as when directories are created or deleted, when blobs are renamed. And then this is very important. I specify the endpoint. I specify where's this information going to go to. So I need to send information when a blob is created or deleted, and now I'm specifying where it's going to be sent to. Azure Function, Event Grid namespace topic, and Event Hub. But for this one, I'm going to choose the Service Bus queue. And now I'm going to connect to the endpoint over here. All right, looks like it figured it all out on its own. Specify the subscription, resource group, Service Bus namespace. I only have one, and then whichever queue that I want. I'm going to pick customer 1, and I'm going to select that one right here. And let's create it. It automatically redirected me to this page right here. I can view the Event Grid subscription that I made. And now we can see here the information. There's more that you can do with it. You can make modifications right here, enable subject filtering, so you can specify about if there's something specific in the changes that you are looking for. Maybe you only want blobs that have certain kinds of information. We have additional features, delivery properties, all this information that helps filter the kind of information that we're sending. But we have the Service Bus queue over here, which is customer 1. So what this whole thing is showing right here is that a queue is a messaging service. It's something that sends information. And in this case, it's going to send it to our customer 1. So now we've set this up so that customer 1 is going to be notified when something happens to this storage account. Maybe it's their storage account, or maybe it's just something that they would want to be aware of. So using these things together, we can allow this to gather information, subscribe to the information, and then use the queue to send it. One more thing I want to point out here is that there is another way to be able to view all of the Event Grid subscriptions that you have. You can type in the Event Grid subscriptions. This is a bit confusing, but there's 2 different Event Grid subscriptions. Let's click this one. And then you can view all the different kind of subscriptions that you have. Now this one is on Event Hub namespaces. Let me change that. And then the location is incorrect, so let me change that too. And then this is another way of seeing the Event Grid subscriptions that we have.